I basically want to start with the 1982 World Cup, which probably, as many describe it, I probably was a year old at that point in time. So the recollections can't get vaguer than that. But probably the best team to have never won the World Cup. Could you just talk me through the 1982 World Cup team?
I'm glad you touched on this topic because whenever I talk about it or even hear about it, even at this age, it gets my heart ticking and buzzing. And the very mention or the reminiscence of that squad, because I was fortunate enough to have seen them live, albeit at a very young age. I was a young boy.
Mm-hmm.
So I happened to watch that Brazilian squad. Of course, in hindsight and in retrospect, I've watched numerous YouTube videos and researched a lot. But if you ask me, that point in time in the summer of 1982, in Barcelona, Estadio Luz, the home of Espanyol. Sorry, not Estadio Luz, Estadio Saria, the Saria Stadium, which was the home of Espanyol. So it's a funny story. I come from the state of Bengal, Calcutta, which obviously has a geographical proximity with Bangladesh. Right now, um, 1982, the full telecast of World Cups in India started in 1986, if you recall. Yeah. Um, 1978, they had showed the final, which was sort of a deferred live, because
Mm-hmm.
obviously when the final happened live in Buenos Aires, it was pretty much night time in India, or it was an odd hour. So the 1978 final was shown deferred live in
Mm-hmm.
India, and 1982. I remember that the opening match was shown, the opening ceremony and the opening match, Argentina Belgium, where Belgium caused an upset, you know, um, beating Argentina 1-0. That match was shown as well. I still remember, very young, but the doves and all were being um, s- opened up in the skies during the opening ceremony. But that's where the what I told you in the beginning about Calcutta being in physical proximity with Bangladesh comes in, because with a contraption which was called the booster, which you put on the antenna, you
Mm-hmm.
could get some Bangladeshi channels and sporting channels, which were actually showing the World Cup live. Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
that was my earliest memory of technology being kind of used to get some benefits. Yeah, to put it on a light note. So yeah, I watched the Brazil Argentina game, and it was a footballing paradise, if I can say so. Of course, I was
Mm-hmm.
very young to understand nuances, strategy, but all I was dazzled by was the ball skills. The Brazilian game. It was all about sorcery, flicks, tricks, off the ball movement, dummies sold, body
Mm-hmm.
paints, all sorts of footballing tricks that we know, rabonas and elasticos and sombreros and whatnot. And the fun part is, all of this was being done at a blistering pace. It was
Mm-hmm.
not that the game was slow and somebody is doing some trick, but the ball comes and they do all of these in same motion, same flow. It was so pleasing to the eye. And I think that 82 Brazilian squad picked up fans across genres, yeah, and fans
Mm-hmm.
who were kind of transformed into Brazilian fans,
Mm-hmm.
even if they were fans of some other teams, yeah. So, unfortunately, we all know that Italy dealt them a very sad blow, a death knell, and that was also because of, I would say, strategy wherein Telly Santana said that come what may, you concede two, you have to score three, right?
Mhm.
You concede more, you score one more than what you've conceded. So they didn't play for a draw because all they needed was just 1 point from the last game because they were up in goal average. And even at 2-2, when Falcao made it 2-2, there 30 odd minutes left for the game, they still went full blast. And not even 30, around 20 minutes, the last 20 minutes is when Italy scored their final goal. So they couldn't defend for 20 minutes. I mean, they were just so keen on attacking and just pumping in their third goal. So a few moments that are kind of instilled in time. The goal which Socrates scored against Italy, for example.